Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Proud Bavarian, and you're doing right. This is the end of the Imperium Romanae, or rather this is the end of our playthrough as the Latin Empire with Emperor Armede. And I mean, let's be real, we have had a good run. Godwin died after a disagreement with Emil, you know, he was in there for only like 6 years. Yeah, I think so. Then we had about 57 years of Henri the Zealot. He was quite the character. He was extraordinarily successful, almost able even to become a saint, but did have some vices. Anul the Saint, obviously, you will remember him, similar to his ancestor, Emperor Henri, who used the Crusade for Nicaea to expand the Latin Empire. Arnul did the same, but in Egypt, and then Amadei just lived here and was like, yeah, this is cool, I like being emperor. Now, why is this the last episode? One episode ago I said, hey, let's do like 3 to 5 more episodes of this. But the longer I look at it, the more I don't think that is an option. And when I say that is not an option, I don't mean like I literally have a person with a gun that is holding said gun to my head and is telling me, don't you dare play this game or I will delete you. It's more that, you know, I look at the playthrough and we have pivoted so strongly that continuing this playthrough isn't a challenge. There's nothing there that would be considered a challenge. So the way I feel about it is kind of just like, I think it would be a bit of a wasted amount of time for you and me. There, you know, you as a viewer and me as the Let's Player, there is no real substance behind what we can do. We already succeeded with everything. We united the Kingdom of Jerusalem under our hand, as well as Antioch and Kilikia. We got, you know, all of Klein Asia, so Asia Minor. Why did I keep saying the German term for Asia Minor here. We got Egypt under our grasp. You know, we can, of course, do like a really easy conquest of Libya here and such. It's just, where are we going with this, right? If you're new to the channel, which many of you very likely are, because only in the last like 10 episodes or 10 days or something, I've gathered about 1/3 of my total subscribers, which is insane if you think about it. I've been doing YouTube since 21st May 2018, and 1/3 of my subscribers stem from the last 10 days. Think about that. That's batshit insane. But don't worry about it, alright? All I'm saying is, if you're new to the channel, you have to know that I make deliberate decisions of when to stop. I'm not one of the people that will go ahead and like say, hey, let's conquer the entire world. We could do that, and I have done it once with the SPQR run. If you want to find that, just search for One Proud Bavarian SPQR, where we continued, you know, Hellenism Reformed run, and we continued that towards restoring all of the Roman old borders. And let me tell you, about halfway into that SPQR run, I just started to cut all the episodes. So I would play off camera, and then if anything interesting happened, I would record it and then cut it together, and then just there you go. It wasn't fun. It wasn't good content. I never uploaded any of those episodes and felt like, yep, this is really good content. Feel really good about putting that up there. Not a single time in that entire time frame have I thought that. It's interesting, by the way, that Antioch doesn't even hold Antioch. Makes you wonder. But so that is something that I don't want to do. I don't want to go just, oh, and now we declare county conquest here, we do this, or we do that, or we do this. That's not what I want to do, right? With this channel, I want to tell stories. I want to tell stories of the adventures of my characters, and as much as I sometimes fall out of it and metagame, I do think that I'm getting better at it. You know, I plan to implement more and more events as we go and play in new series. So if you're looking for that, that is definitely something that you will be seeing here on this channel, but I will always stop playing when I feel this is far enough. This far and not any further. There's no point in us playing any further. The Aztecs are no rivals. I don't know when they just fell off a mountain at some point, you know, just fell off a cliff. They had like 100k, and then in one single war they lost like 40k or something, and now they're down to 12k. Come on, that's not a challenge here. I could kill them. That's not the problem. It's just I don't really want to kill them. On top of that, I did actually think about, you know, doing a last meme episode. I really wanted to do a last meme episode where we convert to Shia via the assassins. If you join them, you have to become Shia, and then we attack the Aztec Empire for a grand conquest. But the only grand conquest that we can do against the Aztecs is for England. And before we reach England, our troops on the ships take 5% attrition every month. We would arrive, if we start here with like 13k, we would arrive with about 9k or 8k, and that is just something that's just, you know, ugh. So I would rather not bore you or bore me and because of that. I'm calling it here. We had a shitload of fun, at least from my perspective. The only thing that I right properly regret, and I'm going to say it, there are actually two things that I regret, but they are intertwined. And the one thing I only regret because the other thing happened. So I regret the crusade for Egypt because it let me conquer and finish the pentarchy and the mending the schism achievement. It let me do that too early. I would have been okay with that. Even if it did this too early, I would have been perfectly okay with that, and we easily could have gotten 3 to 5 episodes out of this. I would have been okay with that had Persia not gone... not this one, I mean this one. Had Iran not gone Christian. Iran going Christian is the biggest nonsense that could have happened here for us. I'm not saying it's unrealistic or whatever, you know, somebody even said in the comments, hey, the Pope actually was always very, very interested in getting Persia to become Catholic or, you know, Christian, but it has never happened, so this is kind of cool. And you know what, I get it, this is kind of cool, I agree. But them being Christian just kind of kills all purpose for me to conquer this. Other than that, my character would have been like, we have to, you know, push them back while also looking out for the Aztecs. But now my character is like, the East is literally our friend, what are we gonna do about it? It's a very strange predicament to be in. Had they been Muslim, we could have definitely, you know, pushed east and felt good about it. I even like our borders here. The Muslims holding the backwater area, and we just holding the coast, which is the important part of it at the end of the day. But we can't do any of that. I also thought about a meme where we could restore Byzantium, but we can never do that unless we conquer the Knights of Chios. And conquering the Knights of Chios is a pain in the ass. You can see that they hold territory here as well. These two don't matter, but Thessalonica is what does matter. And we need these islands for Thessalonica. So unless we hold all of Thessalonica, doesn't work. But I can't actually offer them vassalization. I can't morph into them and accept vassalization because they're a, you know, a holy order. I can't even use Jerusalem to offer them vassalization because Jerusalem would need to be independent for that to happen. It's just, there's so much nonsense that I can't work around, and that is just not, you know, there's no point in really working around it. What I'm saying is, I regret from a storytelling point of view, you know, I kind of want to evaluate the series so that we can do it better in the future. I regret the crusade for Egypt. I think it made things too easy. I do still think 100% that the character of Arnul justifiably believed that Egypt falling would secure the East for an eternity and means that you could then turn west towards the Aztecs. It just made it too easy from a player point of view. So I'm not really interested in ever doing something like this again. I also do think that starting as an emperor, as cool as it was, because it's, you know, it's an historical empire that fell, I think like 56 years or something after being founded, that fell back into enemy hand, by which I mean the emperors of the East Roman Empire. But it's cool to play that. It's cool to go in with that and, you know, have an experience with that. It's just, it's too easy. We, at the first 2 episodes, we had some actual fighting here with, you know, emperors going on with Bulgaria, with Nicaea, with Trebizond and Rome, of course, and then it just kind of faded away and we were the only one existing. I mean, consider that the Mongols came until right here, then they stopped. Rome was dead and we could just eat up the rest. So it's just like, I wonder. Anyway, I had fun nonetheless. We're gonna have a really fun playthrough coming up in I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna tell you, if you watched 9 minutes of me just recapping this playthrough and analyzing what was bad and what was good, we're gonna play a Turkic nomadic people. I think there is a really good start in like till 1018, where we are under a Khan, but we are like in this region, and this is really cool. I would like to see nomad gameplay because I've never done it. The only nomad gameplay that I've ever done was the Ashina gameplay that was on this channel. And we're gonna try to overthrow the Khan at some point, and then we're gonna try to migrate, be it, I'm not sure yet, be it maybe in the north of the Black Sea, and then towards Byzantium, and then taking the western part of Byzantium instead of the eastern part, you know, pulling a reverse Seljuks on them. Or we go the classic way and just come in and take Asia Minor. I'm not sure about that yet, but I think that will be really, really cool. My plan is that we then at some point convert to like Islam or something. There's so many variety choices that we can make. I'm not sure about that. I also, this playthrough most certainly taught me that it is the wrong approach to let China do what they did here. I will tweak the setting. There is a different setting choice there. I already, you know, saved a preset. I will tweak the settings so that China can only ever interact with these people in this area. They will never be able to actually push for the Western Protectorate, okay? For the Western, for this part of the world, which is only realistic. So that is what we're going to go for. I do think that in starting in the next playthrough, so the Vikings are still going to have this, but I think starting the next playthrough, I'm going to play with the full SWMH map. So even we get new provinces here, we get new provinces here. I don't think we get new provinces here. I think this will always stay this way because nobody lived there. But I think this will change. And I hope that you know, there seems to be a lot of people here that like India. I really don't like playing in India. I just don't know anything about the region, you know, to like playing there. But I'm going to enable that in the next playthrough starting tomorrow in this time slot. Let me know what you thought about this series. You know, give me a little bit of a recap if you want to. Don't do if you don't do it. If you don't want to give any feedback. But I think the biggest mistake that I made here is Egypt. The rest, I sincerely do not think I power played. The survival of the empire was most of the time of the utmost importance to all of the emperors, and the emperors weren't stupid. I think one of the biggest mistakes of the game was to give me Arnul, because Arnul is such an amazing character. Look at all the stats that he had. He was quick, you know, he was a very, very smart man. He obviously would do very smart things. He's an amazing ruler. There's no mistakes where he goes. There's no mistakes what he does. He's just amazing. And the game giving me that may have made me a bit too overpowered, but don't worry about it. In the next playthrough, we're going to have a lot of chances to become weak, to rise up again, and so on and so forth. I hope that the Turkic migration playthrough will be as much fun as, for example, the Viking. And I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Only 12 minutes today because, well, there's nothing much we can do other than losing our troops on the way to England. I will see you later. Alligator.